Is anybody aware of their pain right now?
Yes.
Yes. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. All right. I could probably get every single one of you on the table and show you where your pain is. Okay. And Roz knows that. And other people know that. There's a lot of pain that we carry around that we're not aware of.
True. So true.
Right?
So true. Yes.
So just because we're walking around and we're thinking that we're not in pain doesn't mean that we don't have it and that we're not actually hiding it somewhere. Okay. So for those of you who don't know me, and that's not too many of you, but there's at least one person in the room who doesn't know me. My name's Beverly Gonzalez, and I am a massage therapist, and I'm happy to be here, a part of this, because what God is teaching us about the 8 laws of health is not just about the 8 laws of health. It's about how integrated everything is that God has for us. And one of the things I love about the very first class that we did was that I looked around at all the different, laws of health, and I said, touch is not there. It's not there. It's not one of them. I said, wait a minute. And God just said to me very clearly, that's because when you do exercise, I touch you. When you drink water, I touch you on the inside. When you're temperate, I touch you. Or when you're intemperate, you feel that. When you're out in the sunshine, I touch you. When you're out in the air, when you take a breath, I touch you. When you trust God, when you get rest, when you actually, have good nutrition, when you eat at all, God uses every single one of the laws of health that He's given us to touch us, which is really cool. Of course, I think it's extra cool, but because it's up my alley. But I've never seen it that way. So this is one of the reasons I'm excited about what we're doing here, because we're learning as we go, all of us, and we're learning together. And so I'm glad you're all here. One of the things that we wanted to do with giving out the loofah in particular, I was going to talk about that because we wanted to leave you with things that you could do to de-stress, right? And so one of the things that I thought of was using the loofah, because for me that's a powerful thing. Our first class was on hydrotherapy, so we talked about the use of water. For me personally, getting into the shower or a bath is another way of experiencing, again, water, not just by drinking it, but also by actually bathing in it and feeling the warmth if it's warm, feeling the cool. If you're hot, it feels awesome and refreshing. If you do hot and cold treatments, usually when you do the hot enough, it feels good to use the cold. And to do the contrast, and even with the ice massage that we showed, it actually increases the circulation so much that it actually is excellent for the area. So, so one of the things that we wanted to leave you with was a loofah, and the loofah is a way that you can actually massage yourself, because I'm going to show you some things. One of the things we'd like to bring to you is also remedies. And you might not think that what Roz brought was remedies, but it was. It was good things that we can do to remedy some of the things that we're faced with every day, dealing with stress. So every day, most people bathe, and we should. And using the loofah in the shower, I don't know if anybody, does anybody have one of those poofs? I call them poofs.
I have a poofs.
Do they do anything?
No.
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 They really don't massage you, okay? So they're pretty and they're nice, but as far as I'm concerned, they're innocuous. So, so I still have one, hanging in my bathroom. But but it's not something I use. Because why use it if it's really not, you feel something, but it's very little. So the idea is that every day you can use the loofah in your shower and actually scrub. And you're not just scrubbing your dead skin off, okay? Yes, that's necessary and that's good. But you're actually massaging your muscles when you do that too. You're actually getting circulation much deeper if you use it that way. You can do it very, very light if you have very sensitive skin. Say you got home from work and you're really stressed out. I think I mentioned this in one of the classes. If you're very stressed out, getting in the shower can calm you down. It can relax you, right? But if you start scrubbing yourself right away, your skin might be more sensitive. Does anybody have any idea why? You might want to turn the air back on because it's getting hot. The reason is because as your muscles tighten up, because you're stressed, and you're running and you're at your job and you come home, because your muscles are more stressed, now everything is tightening up, all right? And the other thing that is implicated with that is dehydration, okay? So you might be slightly dehydrated, especially depending on what you did during the day. We've talked about that before. If you're snacking all day, you're getting dehydrated, okay? You need water to digest food. And if you're interrupting your digestion every hour and popping something in your mouth besides water, then you're actually going to be dehydrating yourself, okay? So some people don't realize it, but thinking that, they're doing themselves good, they're actually finding themselves really dehydrated by the end of the day. So a loofah in the shower, whether it be in the morning to wake you up, in the morning you're actually more relaxed when you wake up, I hope. But you probably are. So the reason for the loofah is to actually inspire you to remember you are one of God's creatures. You're of more value than those birds. And I was also thinking of, even that the angels, God wants us to realize that, that we're of such value that God would send His own Son, and give Him to us. So, so remember that, and that's why I put the candle in there, just, the symbol of the light. You might not want to use it at this time of year. It's a little hot, but, next time a cool night comes, just try to incorporate reminders, remember, okay? And when you're feeling stressed, go back to, remembering. Some of those things that Roz said were excellent, okay? So, one of the things that happens in muscles, and I was just going to quickly show you this, is that if a muscle, does anybody know what causes a muscle spasm?
Circulation issue.
Dehydration.
My case is the knuckle water.
Yeah, because you got tense. Lack of circulation.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now that could be because of dehydration, it could be
Yes.
because of, what's the other thing? I'm looking for one other thing.
And in my case, the knuckle water.
Pain, okay? Lack of hydration is going to cause you more pain, okay? So if you think about how much water, not to say this is bad, because, I just told you to use the loofah in the shower, but if you think about how much water you use in the shower to wash yourself clean on the outside, you've got to think about how much you need to take on the inside. I'm not telling you to drink that much water, but you need to actually have the amount that would actually do the job. Obviously, it's hot outside, so we need to be drinking more water and conscious of that. So if any of you are starting to get that headache, it's a sign of stress. Sometimes we are conscious that it's, that we're stressed because of worried about this, worried. But sometimes we're not conscious of the physical things that cause stress, like the eating in between meals, like not being hydrated enough. So, so what happens is that the tissues, especially muscle tissues, become ischemic. I hit you with a really, good word. You'll probably never see it again. So what happens is you have pain because the muscles are not getting good circulation. And ischemia means you have now more toxicity there than you have enough circulation to wash it away. And this is what I love about the power of the blood. Because blood does two things. It does a lot of things, but two major things. One is it brings circulation, it brings air and water to wash away. So it brings air, feeds the tissues, it brings nutrients, it feeds the tissues, but then it takes away that which is hurting you, okay? So that's why, unfortunately, when we have pain of any kind, for any reason, even if it's in our head, okay? Even if it's old stuff, it causes spasm. But that causes more pain because it makes it more ischemic. Everything starts to tighten up. So when you have, a little tiny onion, and now you're going to put another layer of spasm and pain, okay? And it just keeps going on and on, unless you intervene. And we need intervention, okay? God knew we needed intervention. So one of the things that helps us to intervene is drinking more water. But if that's the only thing you do, once you get dehydrated, it'll probably take you 3 days to a week to get rehydrated again, because everything's starting to tighten up. I don't know if anybody here knows, I know Roz does, if anybody knows about heat stroke. But when somebody suffers from heat stroke, the reason they can't save them is because of this. Because they put water, if they try to drink water, they'll throw it up. If they try to get water into their body, they can't because everything is collapsing. Everything is tightening up so much. That's how vulnerable we are. We need water, But if you're out on a hot day and you're running a race or something and you end up with heat stroke, it's very, very difficult to save. It can happen if intervention happens early enough. But the only reason, I'm not saying that to scare you. I'm just saying that that every day when we start to notice the signs, another sign would be that you can't think very well. Because it only takes a 3% dip in your water level, your hydration level, for your brain to start actually noticing in that. Now you've got stress on now you're trying to figure things out and you can't think as well, okay? So this, interestingly enough, is what everybody has to deal with.
I do just the opposite of that.
Okay. So we have intervention. Okay. So what would be intervention? Okay, water. And relaxation. Okay. But in particular, touch. Like I said, every single one of these is God's intervention. Okay. So, touch is, very interestingly enough, something that we discussed this in our first massage class. Touch is an unspoken language. If you think about it, the baby is feeling the mom, before the baby even comes out. The baby understands touch when the baby's born. Okay, babies that are not touched fail to thrive. They will die. So this is very powerful. It's something that we all need. So that's why I'm saying, if you're alone, you know, you might not have a lot of chance to touch someone, but you can give people hugs, right? You can give people hugs. You can look for yourself in the morning. You can do a number of things also, because when I think of touch, I also think of these words. So I'm going to write it in green. It's a way to connect. I think everybody's falling asleep. It's contact. And with touch, we can have assurance. Okay, so touch will do these things. It will lower your blood pressure. Now this is good touch, mind you. If somebody comes up and slugs you, I don't think it's going to lower your blood pressure, right? Okay, so it's going to lower your blood pressure. It's going to lower your pain level. And it's going to do that because it increases your endorphins. Now the reason Roz put in the care package something about exercise is because that's very important. That's one of those things that will increase your endorphins as well. But say you're in so much pain, you can't walk. You know, say somebody has has something where they can't walk because they're in so much pain. If you try to push it and you're already in pain, you're actually going to make things worse. Your blood pressure is going to go up instead of down if you're in pain, your inflammation level. Okay? So oftentimes we need touch as an intervention. So again, that's why I left with you the loofah. There's two other things I wanted to just mention as just very simple remedies. Okay? This one is something that's new to me. Okay, I love that because we're always learning. But it's new magnesium oil.
Oh, yes.
Okay, so you can actually use this and rub it in wherever you're having pain. It's like taking an Epsom salt bath. Epsom salts is full of magnesium. Your body actually soaks it in, and that helps the muscles to relax. Okay, so this can help. It can help with lower back pain. It can help with pain in certain areas, any area. It is going to be a little bit more topical. Okay, if you've got a deep problem, okay, you're probably going to need to massage it in and try to get down deeper. But it is something that's not that expensive, and it's something that you can do for yourself.
And what do you call it again with the name?
I got this at, it's called magnesium oil.
Magnesium oil.
Yep. And it's in a brine, so if you taste it, it's salty.
Where did you get that?
I got this at the co-op,
Okay.
right here in Willimantic. They have it. They probably have it at Whole Foods too. Not sure, but they do have this locally. And this is probably about $13 or so. So it's not outrageously expensive. And for this amount, the amount that you're going to use, it's quite reasonable. Okay, and you could use this instead of a massage oil. Okay. All right. So that's one of the things I wanted to share with you. Does anybody know what this is?
Okay, toothbrush.
It's not a toothbrush. It is a natural bristle brush. Okay? This is actually face brush. I actually found this in Walgreens, of all places. And I said, oh, I like that idea. So this is actually for massaging and scrubbing your face. Okay?
What?
This is a face brush. And a lot of people would say, why would I want to do that? I don't want to do that to my face. But it increases your circulation. But does anybody know what you have in your face? A lot of nerve endings, yes. So by actually paying attention to your face, you're actually going to be bringing more circulation there and soothing the nerves elsewhere too.
And how
So you
about,
may think that that's not a big deal, when you're like, well, I got a pain in my back. But you may want to try taking a hot washcloth, steam your face, do a little bit of this. Okay, you don't have to use anything with it. You could use this, but then you're going to have to wash this out. But otherwise, you do it dry. Okay, and what you do is scrub, 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 and then you just go outward towards the ear and then down your neck. Okay, always go towards the heart. Okay, very, very simple, but it's something that can help. Again, if you're looking for pain relief, and you can't call me. But I'm available. And one of the things that is good to know is that you can use I could not find my big brush. It's a little reminiscent of a horse brush.
Right.
It looks like this, only it's this size. So you can take it off the stick if it comes with a stick. It has the stick so you can reach your back. But you could use that all over. And even if you were just to use it on your arms and legs in the morning, it actually makes your skin amazing soft. But it also, you can use it on the bottoms of your feet, you can use it on your hands. A lot of people wouldn't think of this stuff, but your skin actually gives off, you actually lose about 3 pounds of toxins through your skin every day. A lot of people do not realize that, but this, and what you actually see on the surface is dead skin, okay? So what you're doing is you're not just cleansing, you're also encouraging health. You're encouraging circulation. You're helping to calm things down elsewhere, okay? So, I'm going to have Chuck come up for a minute. I'm just going to show on him. Say his wrist was swollen, okay? You would just actually do this. It would take you about 10 or 15 minutes. You'd want to have it up on something, up higher than the heart. But if you keep on doing it, and he can do it to himself, all right?
You mentioned the cold. Remember when I had to get in the bathtub and you said to use the
That was
cold?
something else. I'll say that next. I'll say that next. Okay, so this is actually to encourage getting those fluids out of the tissues because they hurt. And they're full of oxidants that are actually going to hurt and cause more damage. For instance, if somebody's spraying something, then within 3 minutes, if you don't get ice on it, you have 90% more tissue damage because your body, really, it just overreacts with the inflammatory process. So if anything's inflamed, you want to try to get that out of there. Oftentimes, just putting your feet up is good.
And then they keep it apart. But I want to tell you, because of this condition, that's why I had a few weeks back, I had a pacemaker put into me because of this condition.
Okay. All right, go ahead and scoot down this way because I'm going to have you, it doesn't matter which way, you can put your head up here, but, or down there. Put your feet up here. If you want to leave, you can leave your shoes on if you want. Maybe not an issue. Okay, so one of the things that I'm just going to show you now is a very simple principle, okay? So, I know he has pain, but bring your legs up. Nope, you're just going to lay down. Yeah, on your back. Okay.
In my knee.
Which knee? This one. Okay. So, now you can see he's laying down, right? One of the principles that I wanted to show you was just awesome because I was talking to somebody, and again, if God has ways of giving you answers to questions that are just so amazing. Ross would call it molecular. That God is so molecular, okay? And I love that word because he really does. What she was describing today was how the way you think can change the way you feel. Okay? It does. Because there's something about the molecules in our bodies that responds to positive thinking rather than negative. Okay?
Really?
So, this is just to show you something very simple. Okay, so do you see what I just did to his neck?
Yeah, you give him more comfort to it when he's laying on the neck.
All right, so as I keep talking, I'm just doing something to him. Okay. Now, does anybody have any idea what I just did?
We elevated him some, but you know.
What did I do to his neck?
You elevated.
I
Align.
gave it support.
Yeah.
Support. Right.
Support. And if anybody, he who has an ear, let him hear. Okay? One of the things that causes stress and pain is feeling unsupported. Now, I'm not just talking about physical, right?
Yeah.
I'm talking about emotional, too. If our strength and our trust is in God, then we're going to feel the support we need. But we're going to be tempted to think that we're alone, that we have no support. But physically, we need to be smart as to what we can do to actually help ourselves when we need to relax. So this is a very simple thing. So you don't have a massage therapist in your area, or you don't have anybody at home, and you're stressed out. You may be thinking, oh, I got to do X, Y, and Z, and then I'll relax. Okay. But to take 5 or 10 minutes and just do this, you may need 2 pillows, okay, to help your lower back relax. Okay. If you understand, I'm just going to tell you very quickly, these muscles in your thighs, okay, will pull across your hip to your lower back and pull this way, okay? So when you lay down and you have your legs straight, it's pulling more. So your back, instead of being more straight, is like this underneath, okay? And that's not giving your back support, okay? So again, you might be going, my aching back.
Yeah.
If you're feeling that in your lower back, you probably need to get off your feet. Another sign you need to get off your feet is if your feet hurt. Right? Okay? And what I love is that narrator brought into this whole thought, what happens when you're stressed? It affects you here. What does that do to the muscles inside? Not the ones that I can touch out here, but the ones inside. It's going to tighten them up. Okay? So Chuck has some problems with this knee, okay? And so what I'm going to do, as I keep speaking, is I'm just going to start working on this knee a little bit. So one of the things that you can do also, I forgot to tell you before I start doing that, is when somebody, this is for somebody else, okay? If somebody's really feeling like they're like this, I'm just all bent out of shape.
Yeah.
Okay, and sometimes we feel that way. We'll use those words. I'm bent out of shape. If you get yourself supported, get yourself relaxed, and if you have someone there who can rock you, okay, think of a baby. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm rocking Chuck. And when I do that, I try to look and see, he's pretty good with his back, okay? Because when I pull on this leg, it should pull across and I should see this shoulder moving, okay? If I pull on that leg and both of his shoulders are moving like this, then something's blocked here. Something's just too tight, okay? And so sometimes that can help me to help somebody else. And if somebody is, feeling bent out of shape, sometimes you can just do something simple as just this. I very gently am holding under here, around the ankles, and I'm just pulling, okay, and rocking him. As long as it doesn't make him seasick. So, okay? I'm sorry, I'm just moving you over a little bit. So, what I wanted to do with Chuck today, and I wanted to show this to you, was to work on this muscle. Most people, when they have pain, they feel pain in the joint, because that's where it moves, okay? And that's where you're going to feel it, because you're aware of it. But oftentimes, the reason is because the muscles are tight. So the muscles that support that joint are probably the problem, okay? So they could say, oh, it's my knee, and the doctor may say, oh, you need surgery, or whatever, or I'm just going to give you drugs, okay? And all you need to do necessarily is probably get some circulation into this muscle, okay? So I may not be doing a whole lot to him, but I'm doing something very gentle. I'm using my thumbs. Am I hurting you? Yeah. Okay. I'm trying to do this as quickly as I can. I'm not hurting him, but I'm exposing his pain. And so that's what I think is scary for people who step into massage, because it's a vulnerable place to be. Because they don't want to know what's in there. They don't want to know how much they're hurting. And they don't want to know because it makes them feel uncomfortable. It makes you anxious a little bit. So this is not how I would do massage in a private session, but if somebody, comes to me and says, I have pain, and I can do this, they might be able to get up and walk without pain. This actually happened to me at work. I wasn't aware of anything until all of a sudden I got done with the massage, came out, and I could barely walk. And I'm like, oh my goodness. And my knee was so bad, I had to go sit down, and sure enough, I found a big old knot, which is an adhesion, which is a spasm, okay, right above the knee. Right there? Okay. So, does anybody know what you could do besides actually putting your thumbs into it? Because it's a little hard to get your thumbs into your own thigh. Elbow power.
Oh.
Yep. You put your elbow, if you find a knot, put your elbow right into it. Squeeze it out. It's a little bit like taking a sponge and squeezing it, running it into the water. So you need to drink water. And then squeezing it, and run it under the water and squeeze it. So you don't just want to, put the pressure on, but you do want to put the pressure on until you get down to where there's some pain. And you just apply enough pressure so that you know it's a good amount of pressure. We call that a good pain. It hurts, but it feels good. Because you know that you're doing something, okay? And also, you're alive. That's really important. So your positive thinking can be thanking God, and saying, I like this pain. I like this pain. Because it's going to help me. It's going to help me. Because what I'm squeezing out is dirty water. And I'm feeling that pain leave. So goodbye. Okay?
Dirty water?
Yep. There's acid, basically, in the
That's
muscle.
why,
And because of the acid, it's tight. Okay? So you're squeezing out the acid. And then your body is able to carry it away if you have enough water. Okay? So
a lot of them play with water.
okay. So I really didn't do a whole lot with Chuck today. Doesn't seem like it anyway, right? He's like, don't stop. I know you're hurting me, but... Alright, so I'm going to have you sit up. Now, he knows what he felt like when he got on the table.
He's a brave man.
Now you're going to take a walk. Okay, so just walk over there and walk back. Go back. Come back. Alright, so you can sit down, put on your shoes. So, how does it feel, Chuck?
better.
A little better, okay.
Second
So-
year hospital, I feel good. Amen.
Yeah, he wants to be pain-free.
Thank you.
He's got a little more work to do, so, it's gonna take a little more time.
I got something positive.
Good.
I like the relief of this pain.
I'd like to relieve it. So, but it is good to know and to note that there is a bad pain, okay? The bad pain leads to inflammation. It leads to your body actually responding in a bad way. If you're responding in a bad way, then you're going to cause swelling. Swelling causes more pain, okay? Or you're going to cause more spasm, all right? The type of pain that we're looking for is a good pain. You can recognize it as a good pain. But it means that you're going to need to whittle away at it, okay? And that is, that's basically what you want to do. So if you have, a lot of muscle spasm, if it is a place where you can reach, then you can actually do that. Now, pressure is something that you can use very simply, and you can use something as simple as, I didn't get a chance to get tennis balls, but if you have any tennis balls, or if you can get a hold of a tennis ball, it makes a really good thing to lay on. If you have a knot in your back, if you're having problems in your hip, okay, you can actually place it under you and just kind of lean up against it. You can do that for your neck as well, but you want to use two because you want the spine to go between, and you want the balls on either side. Okay? With your spine, usually you want to do that where, at least with the neck, you want to keep things balanced. Okay? And also, you would be able to have support that way. You could actually wrap it in something, like a pillowcase. You could put them in there and then just get them positioned right so that it'll actually keep it from popping out. Okay? And that's one of the things. You had actually mentioned the thing about using a comb in the bath. And that actually goes back to the Epsom salts. If you're doing Epsom salt bath, I know we had already done hydrotherapy, but we didn't get into using things like Epsom salt. So if you're doing an Epsom salt bath, it helps to draw toxicity out. Your skin soaks in the magnesium, but the salt actually draws out
So it would be helpful my legs.
toxicity. That would help you, yes, your legs.
I like that.
So, so that actually is enhanced, your absorption, and that exchange is enhanced if you take a comb or a brush and you actually brush the skin while you're doing the treatment. You will get hotter faster, okay? Happen from dehydration, or again, if you know that you shouldn't eat something, don't eat it.
Yeah.
Okay? And you can say, but if you know that you can eat it in a certain way, or if you're hydrated and it's okay, that's different, okay? But if you're getting to the end of your day and you haven't drank 1 cup of water, don't you dare have ice cream, okay? You know what I'm saying? Because you're going to actually, you're going to do more harm, okay? Okay?
I think you told me before, like, when you finish massaging chums, is he supposed to drink?
Yes.
Said how can that
Yes, and I did say that.
Yeah.
I do have some water here if you're ready.
I drank just before you did it.
Oh, okay. Well, you need to at least take another couple of sips. Okay? So, so I'd love to get into more, but we're running out of time because right now we're actually going to step into doing some chair massages.